errors getting.
So give me a second. Okay, so here it is. What we have done on the last time. And so have you finished like last time code that we have done this code? Have you implemented by your own? Have you done?
Yeah, I wrote this code, but some errors are getting. Can I share my screen?
It's how I'm say I had already shared you my screen. I think it will be visible to
Can I
you.
share my screen? No. There are some errors getting to me.
Okay, show me your screen. Share me your screen. Please give me a second. Let me stop my sharing so that you will be able to share and stop sharing. Mhm. Okay, so come back here and then like we have used find here. So this it's synced with the ID. It's a very required and very important part to have in mind. Like if you just left with this like as, and then you will going to have a error. Okay, so we are having ID inside our app.js file through which we are just synchronizing. Here this is the ID, here this is the ID. Okay, so what we are doing here, we are just synchronizing this. Is it matching this text or not? So this is what it's code like. Okay, and then today we move further with having a buttons, like a button will going to trigger a function or not, and that part we will going to cover today. Okay, and just like you are having without doing this all part, then so we just have to be keep practicing on most of the parts. So there is a text equals, there's to be text to be. Okay, so this is a predicted one. Okay, and it's require it's required if it will be this is something if you are something like number. Okay, and number can be one, or you are having some such a functions that will going to be 2, and then like another plus, and that will going to be 3 and all. So this is what it's be generally used, b, and uh, like so we just have to try this code now. Let us check what is happening. Okay, to be node on 2. So this is what we are getting error due to okay, so it's not being wrapped now. Okay, so it's initiated now. Let me delete this. It's just getting adding this file again and again. Okay, so it's work alike to the EO. So this is what it's come if we are having some of the numbers. Let me add some number here. Just inside this text, like having h1 number 32, 23. Okay, this time we can compare it with it, like 23. Okay, so here we are getting some of the errors because file is not saved.
H1.
And you
And
can
then the
see
ID is not given.
ID is not defined out there. Okay, so like the best practicing is to have with an ID because ID somehow you will going to be recognized most of the times, or if you describe it like with the ID, that would be better for a coding part. And if you go for a class part, then like if you're using a real world application, then they are basically synchronized with class. So every time looking for a class and just finding and matching within a class would be a tough task and would be a confusing part. So try to have all the times with ID when you try to test it. Number ID. So like what we just got the test to be failed because it's receiving in this format in a string format, and we are just expecting a count, so that it's a fail. So on that time when we are having such a button, and then we'll have to be make sure that we use this as in a string to be passed. So this is what it's also be. And the another one, wrapper.contains. Okay. So this is something like if you want to check, let me give an example within it. Okay. So this is something like so this is something like you want to check some div like this. It's a prettified class. Okay. And inside in it having such of the row and columns like Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, and Peter, Krishna is awesome. If there is a spelling mistake, then don't take a mind because it can be happening. So like this is what it is. Okay, so it's a basically a small span of component inside as an HTML. So if you want to find such a component inside our testing kit, so we'll have to use this function and inside wrapper.contain. So it's basically if you just want to test any of the function, just like here. Give me a second. Let me paste it down. This is a better one. Okay. Okay, so this Control S, and then we just have to paste it down here. Okay. consider 2 equal true. Okay, it's also accept like equals also expect some of the boolean. Okay, so we can also add a boolean here, no issue about it. And then we'll have to check out that is it contain like this app like this app.js file is containing this part or not. So this is the test. So let me check out, is it passing or not? Okay. Okay, so it just passed the test, and we like we'll have to keep this inside another one so that it could be a okay testing. Contact element. Okay. So it just pass the element. If you just remove this, like, let us check what is happening. So if अगर ये class boring हो जाए ना तो please लोग दिल पे ना ले, क्योंकि it's a testing class, ठीक है, तो ये boring हो सकता है. And so this is like test is failing because it's contain dot equal, so we are expecting that it could be equals to this, and it must be like it will just took care of every elements and container, like every elements within it with every text also. So that is failing. Okay.
Yeah, the contains used like writing all the tag also to check
Yes,
that.
this function must have to match all and every of the parameters. If it will not match, then this will going to be fail. Okay.
With 2 equal, we can write any other thing instead of 2 equal.
In it, what we can do, we can like 2b, we can also use 2b. So we'll have to compare it out. Like here we are just checking the component, like elements. So like using 2b is the finished thing to understand, because we already are having this part inside our app.js file. So that we just expect that this must be present out there. So that's why we are using equal here. Otherwise, if you are having something in your mind, then you can try it out. No issue about it. Like you can use 2b, you can use 2 greater than and all. So that's all are not making sense to use here. Okay, that's why you are using equal here. And if it will be false, then we can also check it out as a false. So what is showing here expected false and received true. That's it, saying that we just find that element and within a text also, so it must be true what it is. And now try to write this by your own so that you will get to know. And these parts these parts are like on the last installation part that we have done. So if you just go through any of the documentation, then you you just confuse your mind to have this working properly. So by the good installation, that's why we are using logos, CSS and all here. Otherwise we won't be able to check out our CSS file and all. Okay. So and try to this by your own now.
Yeah, okay.
So this is what it is. It's a containing all element, and I think okay, fine. So recall this is what it's a containing all element, and this will going to have, like, if you want to test down a bunch of elements, along with their conditions and all this, just like this, then we can use contains all matching element. Okay, and if you want to have something like this one, which is inside, like just like a card, just like a conditioning pattern matching element, then on that part we can use contain here. Okay, I think now you understand that what I mean, and you can just extend it, like adding some more things out there on our app.js file, so that it could be adapted in our like mind and all. So either here, this is what, like, if you remove this one and this one, so you will get an error, because we are having some of the test cases. So not to be worried about it, we will get an error because this is the error part and all. Okay, testing part. So let's okay, so I think we are having button. So now we have to move further, and we have to check down if we this is a counter button. Okay, so I don't think so. I think you all just familiar with these codes, buttons, clicks,
Yeah. Okay.
and all, because this is not a React class. Okay, this is not a React.js class, so that I'm begging that you already familiar with this. And but for the sortie, I'll just keep through all those parts, or just on a theoretical. So this is what it's a use state. It's basically on React. It's contain a state here, and where you can just strip down any of the things, you can initiate any of the things on an initial basis, and later on you can change it down with this function set count. So this is a count one. Okay, basically it's a constant, and it will going to be changed on a further by using this function. So basically this one, like a second part, will consider to be as a function here, and then we can change it on basis of our state. Okay, and then we have created a button here. This is the button. ठीक है, गंदा सा बटन है बट है, ठीक है, दिल पे ना लो कोई. तो ये बटन है, ठीक है. And what we have to do, ये it's a calling on click function. Okay, so on click functions, when we just click this button, and what it will going to do, it will going to like set a count, a initial count, like initial count 0 tha. So on that part, initial count +1. So it will going to be like 0 to 1, 1 to 3, 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and all. So it will going to be up, and it's another button here, decrease button, and it's decreasing the count to initial count. So अगर 0 है तो -1, तो वैसे होने लगेगा, ठीक है. एंड अगर 0 से अबव है तो 1 2 3 4 से घट के नीचे आएगा ऐसे. एंड वी प्रोवाइडेड आईडी हियर, सो दैट वी मस्ट टू केयर एंड वॉच दैट it will, our function will trigger the things that we expecting or not. ठीक है. एंड another one, ये भी, इस पे भी आईडी है ऐसे ही, ठीक है. तो फिर ये पार्ट है, एंड वी विल ट्राई टू टेस्ट इट डाउन कि ये हम लोग कैसे करेंगे मेक यूज ऑफ. ठीक है, लाइक हमारा फ्यूचर में जो भी है वो सपोर्ट करेगा या नहीं, ठीक है, ऐसे. ठीक है, so now we just try to write a code for this. इसी के अंदर हो गया क्या? ये हो जाता है यार, इतना बड़ा हो जाता है, कंफ्यूजन हो जाता है। नहीं इसके अंदर नहीं है, इसके अंदर ओके टेस्ट, ये क्लोज हुआ, ये क्लोज हुआ, ये क्लोज हुआ। चेकिंग बटन। ओके लाइक ये क्लास करने के बाद किसी का लाइक मुंडी नहीं फूटा हो, ऐसे बचा हो सब कुछ सही
Yeah,
से?
sir, can you speak in English? I don't understand.
हाँ लाइक आई एम सेइंग प्लीज गिव मी अ सेकंड, लाइक किसी का मुंडी नहीं फूटा हो, सर सब धड़ धड़ सब बचा उचा हो, तो ऐसे लाइक वाइक जरूर देना यार। So what I'm saying, like this is the checking button. Okay, we just try to check it out, and we just try to check that it will going to be or not. Okay. Okay. Let me check out. It's files video. Okay, where are you from? Andhra Pradesh, na?
Yes, sir.
So you don't know Hindi.
Yeah, we don't know Hindi.
Like you must know the Hindi because we are in India.
Yes, yes.
So it's you have to know Hindi because Hindi is pretty like it's open your whole throat. Okay, and we also like we are having such a beautiful singers, like awesome soulful singers and all. So like everyone's like want to hear Hindi, hear that sound on Hindi. So if you know Hindi, then I think it's a proud thing in India. Or if you don't know Hindi in India, living in India, just like you don't know your tongue, so you must know this. Okay, so what it will going to be stimulate, it's a stimulate function here, and it will going to just take care of the clicks when click is happening, and then it will going to be trigger the things that we are expecting here. Okay. Okay. So now try to run this. What is happening?
But the number is not text now. Why you write the dot text?
Do I have write text? Okay, so let me show the things first to you all, so that you will like it's another one count here, and it will count ID. So what we are doing in this code, basically we just check out that the count will going to be 10, 9 and all, if it going to be increase or not on click part. So when someone click a button, so will it go to 1 to 10 or 1000 or not? So that's what we are checking here. By checking this, like within we are considering this to be as a future part that will going to be run here. नहीं बस हो गया क्लास खत्म, ठीक है। So this is what we are doing. We are considering that this will going to be 10, 20 or not, and is it this function will going to be triggered or not by considering this ID, and we are simulating on click function by typing this. Okay, by simulating a clicks. Okay, so that's we are doing here, and so let's check out what is happening. Like, do we get error or not? And, please give me a second. I just got a call. Please. Okay, so we're back to the work now, and let me comment it out so that we don't get confused on like why it is happening. Okay, now so we have wrapper dot find with increase button, and we simulate clicks, and then we just try to expect that the count dot text to be 10.
When the length, when we use this length, the length means it's that the element should be present or not.
Length is something like yeah, it's like what are the counts value and all it's represents on that. That's what. So
Yeah, length can be used that whether the element also present or not. We can check like that also.
yes,
Can
length
we use
will.
length?
Here we are using length, like I just type it down here length just for checking part. So just like length will going to return the count of the element. Okay, count it. What are the counts and all. So that's why that is okay. So please let me check out that what error we are getting here, so that we can clarify it. It should saved expected to equals Krishna. Okay, and what is the name of this test? Testing a small compact element series. Okay. So we are getting error from this one. So that I just get confused about it. Like this will going to be happen most of the time. Okay. Because here we are having bunch of codes, bunch of things to be tested, and we have to, we have to keep in mind that which test is are working perfectly and which are showing error. So when we writing new codes, new function, then we can definitely got errors. So now check it that if we do it 10, then what is happening? Okay, so received 1 and we just want 10, so that it is getting error.
Yeah, the length works. The length can shows that how much the count should be. Is it right?
Text, and then we try to compare it out. Mhm. It's simulating the click. That's why we are getting this. Or you just like trigger the one value so that now check down what is happening. Okay, so this is simulation part, like it's it's receiving on a first click 1, so that it's very fast, and if we like just to increase here from here like 10, then it will going
Yeah,
to
when we use the length, we don't want to put these digits inside these double quotes.
like when we use length now, then that to be return up element length. Okay, and that could be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, and so on. And if we use such a text one, then we're going to find a text. Within text, we convert it to be as a string, and then we can match that part. So this is what it is. So like now check it down that what is happening here. Okay, so like this is what they are getting. They are receiving 10. So when a single click is happen, then it will be a 10. It will going to be 10, and we are just getting an error due to because we are just expecting 1 here. So if we do it 10, then we'll definitely going to be remove our error. Let's check it down. So this is how it is working. Simulate function. Okay, it simulate a click, and I think code is not set yet, so that it's showing the error. Okay, so this is how it's working. Simulate, and on the later on class we will take care of like mouse on over and all. So we're going to cover all those parts by doing.
Yeah, I had a doubt when the click button is in one component, and also the data which we have when we click the button, we can show and hide. There are something like that. The button is in one component, and the text is in another component. When you click the button,
So
the component.
that's how we are testing. Like in a real world also, like button is something. It's like in a button tag, and it's just calling
No,
up to add
no,
something.
no. What I'm asking is, you can also say it in the latter class that where if you had the button in one component and the text in another component, how how to write these text cases. When you click the button, it will show,
So on
and when you click,
that part, you are invoking a function. Okay, so later on we will going to learn all those parts.
yeah, okay, okay, sure.
So this is how something like you are using props out there, and you are expecting that your props will going to be this, just like props dot click button click, just like result and all. So that will be on the when we you learn all those parts, props and all, then we will get to know all those parts. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Now it's the end of the class now, and uh, and लाइक थोड़ी हिंदी में भी बोल दो, ठीक है. सो जिनको मेरा वीडियो अच्छा लगा, ये पढ़ने वाला तरीका, ठीक है, वो सब्सक्राइब करो मेरे चैनल को. भीख नहीं मांग रहा यार, सब्सक्राइब करो. ठीक है. इसके अलावा like those who want to learn Android development, Node.js and MongoDB, reactjs, AWS architecture, Firebase, Flask, Django, Python, तो फिर वो मुझे ज्वाइन कर सकता है। ठीक है, मैं ये सारी चीजें लाइव पढ़ाता हूँ ऐसे, तो आप पढ़ सकते हो विथ अ प्रैक्टिकल अप्रोच। एंड इफ यू स्टक आई विल हेल्प यू आउट, ओनली क्लास वर्क, नो होमवर्क। ठीक है, सो join my channel and love to see you again. Hare Krishna.